past this.
I remember that halacha very, very clearly, that one. The one that you just that we're just holding by now. That if you trespass his house, that you're mamish a gazlan.
Just let me share the thing. We have, which one is it? This one here. Okay, so let's go that way. Let's pass this. We did this. We did this. Oh, Achedev Mashkin Nechshev Gazlan. Very good.
Yeah.
Fine. So Rambam and Shulchan Aruch. Right, this is going to be in the Shulchan Aruch. It's going to be
Yes.
Siv in Shinun Tes. Achedev Mashkin Miyad Aleve. Shalei B'Shuz based in somebody who snatches a collateral from the hand of the borrower, meaning he has somebody borrowed money from him. As if you remember, this is going back to the last Zman. We're talking about the Dini Level Malva. There's the whole thing that like you're not allowed to go into his house. The question is, can the agent of Basin even go into his house? You remember that whole sugya?
Yes, very clearly.
So fine. So this is so him, and the bottom line is you can't snatch it from him at all.
That was in the first month, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember very clearly. There were different scenarios. In the shuk, waiting outside the house, remember? That was another scenario, waiting outside the house.
Right. And then the question is that the guy himself, or even that's only the Shliach Bezdin? In this case, he goes and snatches.
The Shliach Bezdin, I think the Shliach Bezdin is not allowed to go in either.
Also, right, even he's not allowed to go in. And
he's allowed to stand outside the house.
Right, and I think it was according to the Ramah, not even to inventory, he's not even allowed to go to go in.
He can go in the shuk, I think. No, in the shuk he's allowed.
It depends. So depending on the, or he can compel him to go into the house, or there was different angles on it. There was different opinions.
Right, but this is the
bottom line is this is what we're talking about, right? The Malva himself is good snatching an item. Shalebish was based in without permission from Bezdin. Harizeh Gazlan. This is a robber. Why? If the guy owes him money. The answer, right? But it doesn't make a difference. You did not have a shus to grab this thing from him. You're a malva. You're not. It's not like he stole it from you. Now you're going and snatching back your item.
Remember, this mashkan is not really a mashkan that was designated by Bezdin. He made it into a mashkan.
He went and snatched it. Yeah,
he snatched it. He
has no rishus from Bezdin. He has no rishus from Bezdin.
To be choitev, right? To be choitev.
He has no rishus from Bezdin to even grab anything at all, and he goes and grabs this item. The ain't so blamar, and needless to say, him nichnas l'seich beis chaveri umashkenei. Right? Like we learned that there's an issur to go into his house. So how much more so? Not only did he forcibly take a thing, not b'shus Bezdin, but he entered the house. This he can't even do b'shus Bezdin. So how much more so? Fine. But now, anyway, we learned all the halachas of that in the last month. So
yeah, but that if you remember, there is a scenario where he can go into the house. Remember that or not?
Where who can go?
There's a case. I don't know if you remember. There's a case that we spoke about over there. If you b'torach guvaina, if you go b'torach guvaina, you're allowed to. Do you remember that at all? The thing of Teres Guvaina or not?
But that's the Malva or the Shliach Bezdin?
Shliach Bezdin.
Right, not that this here we're talking the Malva, not there's not.
Yeah, the Malva is not allowed to go in, right. and by the way, and neither is Shliach Bezdin allowed to go in.
Right.
But Teres Mashkin.
Right.
But Teres Guvaina.
Can gain. And we also said that according to one opinion, he can stand outside and make him go inside and get.
Right. So I just wanted to
what he can do.
I just wanted to be aware of that.
But even that's the shliach bezdin, never the malva.
Yeah, the malva is never allowed to go in. Right. No. I don't think.
According to one thing, the malva is allowed to snatch it in the marketplace.
Yeah.
But
is that Toiras Guvaina or Toiras Mashkin? I don't know.
That opinion was B'Toiras Mashkin. I don't think that's the final thing. that you can snatch it from him. Oh, and I believe we held that only Shliach Bestin can snatch it from him, and even that not to enter his house.
Not into the house. I remember.
Yeah. Fine. Anyway,
there is though a chiluk between outside the house and
to enter.
And enter the house. Enter the house. I don't think anybody's allowed to go in. I think
Yeah, unless it's
Teres Guvaina. That's one thing. And in terms of the marketplace, that he's allowed to take, no?
So it depends on the opinion. According to one opinion, it's even he's not allowed to, even in the marketplace. The Shliach Bestin's allowed to the marketplace.
Okay.
Anyway,
we're talking about over here in Mashkin anyway. So
yeah. Anyway, Isur Leisachmid Rak B'Chimud Sheyesh B'Maisa. Now we're going to talk about the Isur of Leisachmid, not to covet. Kosur Rambam Shulchan Aruch. Kol hachemid avdei mosei beisei kel shechaveri. Right, anybody who covets the slave or the maidservant or the house or the kalim of his fellow. I call davar she'efshar sheknei menu, or anything that it's possible to buy from him. The hichbid olav reim, and he pressures him through friends. The hiftzir and he nags him.
He enticed him. No, what? He enticed him, or maybe he pressured him. No, more than enticed him.
Like I think hichbid is like pressure, like covered.
Pressure, yeah, that's why.
I think hiftzir is like to nudnik him.
Right. Okay, no.
Until he agrees to sell it to him.
Yeah.
The guy finally, he's like, "This, I can't deal with this anymore."
Yeah, because of the Nujarai. The
guy's ruining my life.
Yeah, he's taking away. He's nudging me and nudging me.
I'm sitting doing homework with my kids. He knocks on the window. Hey, you're gonna what's the called? I'm taking a walk with my wife. He pops out of from behind the tree. Hey, you're gonna sell me that? I can't live budget. So finally, I'm going to sell it to him. Even if he paid him much more than the worth of the item. So this is do not covet. If, however, he did not purchase the item from him, he never got the item. So until he buys the item, he is not he's not chayiv on this. Just interesting. If you look back up, we had before, but Lisachmid.
It's interesting. The Ha'ara 41 is interesting.
But we have it before, right? If a person forces his friend to sell it, it's usher, right? But he doesn't have a din to passel him from a shvua, right? Not midrabanan, not midraisa. And the smeh, well, I think that's actually where we were now.
Yeah, look at the smeh.
He explains that if you force him, it's not gezel deiraisa, but it's like sachmid.
Deiraisa,
like we say later, right? And even even though somebody generally who's over on a deiraisa is nifsal leedus mideiraisa, so why is not pasal leedus mideiraisa? Why only midrabanan? Why? Because mikol mokum benid nidani nifsal mideiraisa mishum shanoshim sevurim she'ein isur leisach mishashim mishalim. Because many people, if they don't realize that the isur of leisachmid is not when you steal it; it's when you're paying for it. So he thinks he paid for it; he's fine. V'nimtza imkain. What's the whole problem of a guy who's over on Gazel or something like this? As you see, he's somebody who's over on mitzvahs deiraisa. So he doesn't. It means he doesn't value them. He's not. He's not afraid to give a shvua sheker or eidos sheker. In this case, had he realized it was usher, he wouldn't have done it. Only because he thought he didn't realize it was usher. So that's why. And note 34 is interesting. Right, meaning that people think, right, that Lisachman is only without payment. Yeah, she'isol isachnu dav kishalchem dav noidl b'lishalim. Avli mishalim olav they think ein ever al isol isachnu. Fine. Which note did you say? Note 40, you said.
Yeah, 41. 41.
Okay, note 41. Rambam Shams Mesikot Yudzayin V'Lom Duzei Saposli Sachmit Kesev V'Zov Aleim V'Lokachta Loch Chimot Sheish Maisis. So it shows that it has to be V'Lokachta Loch. In order for it to be L'Sachmit,
different to Visabe. Visabe is Belev.
Right, the Sav is, right. So now we learn Isle Sava Fil Belev Bilvad. Hamshich Rambam Shulchan Aruch Kol HaMisave Beisei Ishtei V'Chelov Shel Chaverei. So anybody there's a taiva on the house, which is actually very funny, because just today in Tanya we learned we learned that's only with the that thinking alone doesn't have a what's it called, right? That dividend you have to say, you can't just think it. Well, and just like by Allah say also, it's not enough that you thought it. You have to have done the pale. So here you see, he just thought it's a very funny thing.
There in Tanya it says because it's kosher to Siras HaMalchus, which is Dibur, right?
Right. So you have to. It has to come down at least into Dibur.
Dibur, right?
It could be Dibur, right? Like a Shvua. A Shvua is Dibur.
Right.
Or it could be a Maisa.
Yeah, because remember the whole thing of even in Beis Kodesh Kodashim in Bayis Sheni, that it wasn't like Bayis Rishon, because that was Beseder V'Hadroga, and this is Beseder V'Hadroga.
Right, you didn't have the same.
Al Koponim, it still was Melubash Ria Beyatzira Yitzir Nasiya, so that's why.
And it was Alpi Dibur and Maisa everything.
So we have to do it also.
So it's interesting. It's interesting, and right now here, what do we see? Even Choshav Belibe.
Yeah, it's different, I guess.
So it's a question: why would it be different? It doesn't. If it doesn't reach Sfirsa Malchus, it doesn't have enough. It doesn't take effect. So why Takya? Anyway, I don't know why, but just an interesting point, because we just got done learning in Rashi and Tanya, or we're just about to learn in Tanya, depending on where we're holding.
I just want to tell you one thing. Nisab HaKadosh Baruch Hu li'ir betachtoim is nicht gewen bedibur. You know what I'm saying? Fine.
There was no world, even with the taiva, right? You think about it. He had a taiva, and even though Abraham could create with a taiva, but his taiva didn't create. Only his dibur created.
Muss man sagen, as if you're right, what you say, muss man sagen, als viele Heint, was die Welt existiert bei Dibur, es ist voran noch als in von is aber in der Welt, like, you know what I'm saying, without the fact that you have the in other words, it's tied down to Dibur in so much that the world exists through Dibur, but the in von is aber is noch als Heint euch, not kosher. Must be something on those lines. You follow what I'm saying or not?
There has to be, in other words, at the end of the day, there has to be a kesher also to what's it called?
To Nisaba.
But by the way, it also explains why by Chassidim.
Yeah.
Why by Chassidim the Indian of Iskafia is such a
big thing.
Why what's Iskafia? Iskafia is the opposite of Lisa Savna.
Because he is Messiah Sarot.
Right. I feel it was Magman. You know?
The Indian of Iskafia is Messiah Sarotzen. Du willst Azoi und du tust.
Right, so it's the opposite of Leisa Savitz. Even ballet. Ballet that I'm not what's it called? I'm pulling back my desire from physical things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says over here, I feel belev bilvad. המשך רמב"ם שולחנוך מסב בייסו לאשתו בכל כיוון שחושב בליבוי איך יקמנו דובר זה ונפתר ליבו לדובר או בלא יסעשה. At least it's very interesting that he says over here that you have to have some sort of a scheme or plan of even it's not that you just want it, you're scheming in your mind. How are you going to do this? How are you going to get it?
Right. So it's almost like it can't be in Gimel Reish Levad. It has to be at least in the midas of Seichel.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying.
Not in the midas. It has to be already if it's already Cheshiv case of the Lahasig, it's already in Netzach Yisaid. It's not even in Chagas. It's already in
that
he.
it's brought down in Hasidus. The biggest difference between Klippa, right, and yet Nefesh Bahamis, Nefesh Elokis, Nefesh Bahamis first starts with the Midas.
Yeah.
I want it, and then sends a message to the Gimel Rishon, wie soll get mit das ton. Se fängt sich bei in Kedusha, se fängt sich an Moich Sholet al Alev, the Moich, und das wird Sholet sein auf der
Right,
Leib.
and that's gonna lead to the Chagas and then he. In this
Right,
case,
but here,
right, we just Hasidus. In this case, he's coming from below and he wants it, and then he's
right. Bemidas, and
right,
he's driving.
right.
Okay.
The heart is telling the mind what to do here.
Yeah, exactly. بدو אפילו בלב בלבד למעשה בכל אופן האיסור הוא כאשר
Fine. So it's not mamish in malchus, but it's almost in malchus. It's already in come down to nehi. So aveda gereres aveda taiva chimud gezos v'chezdam it kos v'ram shon aruch taiva maybe l'dei chimud. Once you have a taiva, what comes next? Leisachmid v'achimud. What does that come? L'dei gezel. Shimri lotzav oilim limkeir. Afal pisha hirbolehem damim v'hivtzir bereim. Right, even though he didn't want to sell, and even though he offered him a lot of money, and even though he right, because that's first is a taiva. Now he's going to try to convince him, and he's going to try to pressure him through friends, and then it didn't work. You obviously did gezel, right?
Like you mean he would actually against his will take it away?
Yeah, because the guy's not. He's not. I'm offering him money. I'm trying to pressure him. It's not working. So then, because and then his Yitzhak will get so strong for this. His taiva gets so strong for this item. I'll go and steal it from him. First, they covered the houses and then they stole them. Right? Or now, then if they try to stop him, he could come to kill them because they're trying to stop him from taking it. Say ulamad mimaisi achav v'navis. Go learn from Achav and Navis. So you learn from there that by Achav and what was it? Izebel? What was his?
Yeah, his wife.
What's going on from the Rebbitzin?
Izebel.
Yeah. So what happened? They wanted. He had a field or a vineyard. Yeah. And they wanted it, so they plotted to have him killed. They could have his vineyard. So you see, mamish from they had a taiva, and that led to chimud, and but he wouldn't sell to them, and that led to what's it called? Let's kill him so we can steal it from him. So here we learn which is a funny statement here, because he doesn't finish it off. Right? So if he had a taiva for it, it's one lav. If he then tried to force them to sell, it's a second lav now. Because why? Because the leisav is still there, and he has leisachmid now. Right? And if he stole it, he's over on 3. I don't understand why doesn't he say Bedalid? But I guess he leaves that to
no. But then that's capital punishment. That's Kamaleh B'derabimine.
Fine, but Kimle B'derabimine is that's mitzad the punishment. It's not mitzad the isur, is it? It's only mitzad the punishment.
Mitzad the punishment, but I
fine,
don't.
But the isur bleibt though.
Once you administer the punishment, I don't think you're over.
It wipes out the other.
I think so. There's something about that.
Yeah. I think it automatically.
I remember learning that.
I think it's automatically mechaper on other things. I believe you're right.
I don't mean it. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you're right in that. Oh, fine. So that explains why he's not even in.
That's why it stops by what do you call it? Chimud. By chimud, it stops.
Even though when we talk practically speaking, how often was a murderer killed? So he didn't receive the punishment.
The MSC is it stops by gezel, because you could be nitele hashova. So if you give it back, you're over on nothing. If you give it back,
right?
I don't think should you be over on anything
I don't
if
know.
you actually stole
I
it.
mean, you still had the taiva, you still had the lisachmit.
The taiva, yeah.
Then what's the punishment for lisachmit and lisasave?
I tell you what my question is, because
I mean,
taiva
is that even something? Is that even something that's there's no monetary damage. So what is it? It's not a best.
but taiva is tied up with contriving a plan.
Yeah, but there's no punishment still for it. They based it.
Nicht.
Your plan didn't cause monetary damage. The Besdin only deals with monetary damage.
That leads you to chimud, which you actually put into practice. And if that doesn't fly, so then you steal, right? But don't you think that if you steal and you give back, so the whole thing is also mistame tshuva geton of alles, no?
Because giving it back is a monetary union. Leisachmin leisesave is not it's not something
this is a
there's no knas, there's nothing to pay back for. There's no monetary damage. It's not a Besdin thing.
Right.
Besdin has to have a physical has to have either a physical damage or a physical.
It's Devarim Belev. Devarim Belev.
Right? How do you prove it in Besdin anyway? Right? How would the Besdin know about it?
In fact,
the owner doesn't even know about it yet. Nobody knows about it, only you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like sinner, like having sinner towards another person is Dovanish Belev. And even nobody knows about it. And that's why I say Ani Hashem, because Rashi says
so.
Yeah, I know what you're up to. Nobody else knows what you're up to, but I know.
Anyway, these are good questions, but I don't know what the taka how would that work.
I
mean, look, as far as Bestin is concerned, the only thing they can come after him is the gazel.
Yeah.
Right, because the other things are not Besdin. I don't think they have any place in the Besdin. These are what's it called? Lisachmid even is it's a Sedibus. It's Ani Hashem.
It's a very interesting thing, this whole thing, how it plays out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, you're correct. If he killed him, so if he was convicted, then the Chalafachis he would
That's why it says Vim Gozal over Shlosh.
Yeah.
It is mashma as if he wasn't Gozel on two lavin.
On two lavin, but and they're not only that. How do you do tshuva on lisachmid? How do I take back having harassed you? Oh well, I can give you back the item because remember, lisachmid he bought the item. It's just he bought it by nagging him and by making him a sugar.
Okay, but the only thing that's
so you can give back the item, you can give back and the point is he didn't really want to part from the item. So
now, how do you do tshuva on Sava by just cooling down and just chilling out and say I'm not gonna be
fine, but that's maybe easier because it's only ben cholav ben atzmecha. The vayla, I did nothing to the person. I didn't even bother him.
Yeah, then the question is when you harassed him. And you made him give you what his object or whatever his field.
Right.
The question is, if you return back the field to him, is that enough?
Listen, I can give back the object, and I can
give him pituim for.
And I can bet mechila, and I could.
Mechila, you have to bet. You bet mechila for all the.
Mechila, so I don't listen. Here. I'm giving you your field back. I don't. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came into me. What's it called? Please forgive me. Fine. I can. You could do it with as long as the other person's still alive, as long as you didn't murder him yet. You can still bet the kill. Leisa Save is is you do tshuva between you and the Eibishter.
Okay, we're gonna do the Shulchan Aruch now, Rav Markel.
Yes, okay, it jumps around a lot, but let's see
what we can do.
What you come up with over here.
We have some Zavtika halachas to,
So okay, so let's start with Shin Mem Tes base.
Like a Shin Mem Tes. 1 second.
I have to see. I don't even know which Shulchan Aruch to pull out anymore.
Shin Mem Tes. I think you and me have the same thing, no?
Yeah. By the way, one
Choshen
of these days, we're not going to have to jump around. We're going to take Choshen Mishpat from Siman Aleph, and we're going to sit mit the Shach, und mit the Sma, und mit the Gera, und mit the Sivis, und mit the Ktseis, l'chol hafachis, mit Rabbi Kiva.
Megeta Sumolen. Megeta Sumol. We're gonna how do you say? We're gonna grind it.
Yeah. Not only that, we'll take it from the Gemara through the tour in the Bes Yosef.
Yimit Hashem. It's good that what we're doing now because we're getting the hang.
You got to start somewhere.
Exactly, and it's a good place we're going to. It's not like
fine. So Shin Mem Ches, if base
Shin Mem Ches is the first one. Yeah. What? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. We're doing Shir 27, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's Shin Mem Ches if base. I think it looks like it's done.
1 second, please. Shin Mem Ches. Shin Mem Ches. Yeah, that's the first one. The first thing. Okay. Which Steve?
Steve base.
Kolagoineb, yeah?
Yeah.
Kolagoineb afilu shove pruta.
Yeah, the Chazon.
Okay, kolagoineb afilu shove pruta. Anybody who steals, even a shove pruta, oiver alav de loy signoivu, v'chayv leshalam, and he has to pay. Afilu shove pruta means a minimal amount is shove pruta. That's what the afilu goes on, right? Is chayv leshalim, he has to pay.
Well, you'll see the afilu is going to go on the chayv leshalim is going to go on.
Chayv leshalim, yeah, of course, yeah. I'm saying even a minimal amount is chayv to pay.
Because we already learned in the Sif HaKedim also looking at afilu kolshu. Right? Even kolshu. Right. However, he's not chayv leshalim on kolshu.
Oh, very good. So the afilu goes on the chayv leshalim. Very good. Because goinev of Geneva, we learned already the first one. Okay. Echod goinev mom Yisrael oy goinev mom shel akum, right? Yochayev. Vechod goinev migodol mikoten hago. Toos akum kegoin lehat oisoi becheshben, right? You do a whole mathematical equation where he ends up losing. Or to uproot the halva completely, right? By telling him that I already took care of that with you, with other form of payment, whatever. Mutter is permissible. You have to be positive that no Chil Hashem will come out of it. It's also to be matter. Elohim to me'atmo shori. But if he fell by himself, he made a mistake, then it's shori. But you're not actively allowed to do matter.
And again, like we learned before, that even this is so long as there's no Chil Hashem involved.
Very good. So then he says, so again, yeah, of course. Even then, Chil Hashem, anywhere there's Chil Hashem, forget it.
Standalone, yeah.
That's okay. We're gonna do now the Smer, right?
Smer, yeah.
The Smer Dalet. Alav de loy signoivu, pirush, loy signoivu hakosu beparshas kedoshim demaydi begnevas momoin, den nilmed menionoi dichsiv betidoi loy sechachashu veloy sechakru. Because Loisik Noivu appears in the context of other forms of monetary thefts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Different, like
Right. Right.
in other words, don't deny. You know, you're denying
Right.
that you owe any money.
Right.
Don't
About it.
lie. Yeah, אבל לא signoi והכוסוב בעשרת הדיברות, but לא signoi which is brought in the עשרת הדיברות, איירי בגוינב נפושס דחייב עליהו מיסו, ונלמד גם כמיניונוי, or there also you learn it in the context that it's presented, the kosov betzidoi loy sitzach loy sidov. Because it says over there, at its side, you should not kill and you should not do niuf. You shouldn't be promiscuous.
Right, and this is what we see, like we said, by the Asar Harugi Malchus.
Right.
That what was like the Blial. What's the question he presents them with? Is right? It's because they stole Yosef and they sold him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oy hagoyne moment shalakum dumia de gezel akum de osur. In the same way as we said that in Gezel Akum, it's also to Geneva is also Osir.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do now V'yesh Oimrim, right?
What's interesting in this Smeh is he doesn't say Mistama, this is what he means, but he doesn't say Klor Midiraisa. He leaves out the word Midiraisa.
Can I ask you a question? When it equates Geneva by Akum, the same thing as Gezel Akum.
Yeah. Well,
are we equating?
So here, so let's remember, here we're talking about Geneva. That by Geneva it doesn't say L'Reyecho.
That's my point. Why doesn't it specify? Why doesn't the?
What you're saying? Why the Smed doesn't? I don't know. I don't know, and it's not, and not only that, you would think he would specify either way. Tell me this way or that way, but he doesn't specify.
From a goy, it makes no difference. It's also.
Geneva is also Midiraisa by a goy.
Yeah, and Gazela.
Gazela is the
same. For a goy, there's no difference.
What do you mean?
It says the L'Reyecho, no? I mean,
by Gezel it's L'Reyecho. So it depends. There's two opinions on it. It's machlekes by Gezel if Gezel is Midiraisa or not by a goy. Some hold by the Reyecho and some don't use that.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that he's saying this Leshitas HaMechaber, who equates like Rabbi Brunswick just said right now, that it could be that the Mechaber holds that they're both also the Raisa equally, and
that's why he should have said something more, because here he just says Dumi de Gazel Akim de Aser.
No, he doesn't have to. It's equating them. Because they're both the same. They're both the Raisa.
That he holds Gazel's the Raisa.
Yeah.
Meaning that he doesn't go by. He doesn't go by the there. He holds that it reads like Sasha Kesef period, V'lei Sigzel, separate thing.
Now, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that the Smeh holds like the Mechaber. I'm just saying that the Smeh is explaining the words of Mechaber.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what he's explaining in it. He's very vague.
I don't know.
Meaning, or by the fact that he doesn't say Minat Torah, he just means that it's Asr, but Asr. I don't know.
Or we could learn that he means one deraisa, one derabanan. But either way, it's Asr.
It's right. So it's for sure Asr. We know Gezel by a guy is Asr for sure. No question. Yeah. The question is midrabanan midrais, and you would think that when the Smeh is saying something like this, where there's such a question, you would think he would have specified, but he doesn't. He just says the Gezel agam the Asr.
That was my natural.
You could read it either way.
Look,
you could read it that he's explaining that the Mechaber holds it's also the Raisa, that he holds not just l'reyecha, or he could be saying, oh, it's usher, but it's also, I don't know.
Baruch Shekavanti. Look at the Berhetiv.
I figured somebody's got to talk about this.
Yeah, it's a mashma mikan also doraisa, like okay. Rabbi Brown said, but that's not the Ramah. But who is it?
We know the
Marshal said because of the Tzviro the Rambam the Tur the Smag just go beloshen there. They also midoraisa ein sham, and the Smeh again is being mefaris the mechaber, and he's mechaber is mefarish it aliba to those shittas. I think that's what the Berhetiv is saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
he doesn't specifically mention the Smeh, but we could assume that that's what the
that's what I'm saying. No, the thing is this: could we assume that the Mechaber holds like the Rambam? Yeah.
Yeah, because not only that, the Mechaber took his wording from the Rambam.
Right, it's Stoma de Milsa. Yeah. He's saying Stoma de Milsa.
And not only that, and if he's taking stuff from the Rambam, if he held differently on a certain point, he would have certainly mentioned it.
He would have. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. Okay, listen.
Yeah, look, and the Shach also speaks about this. So.
Okay, shall we go first? Finish this man.
Let's do the Shach first over here, and then we'll continue on this man in the
Ramah. Okay.
Ramah, yeah.
Also, sorry.
Especially it's dealing with the question we were just talking about.
Yeah. I remember the Mashma bekannte also the Reise וכך כוסף רש"ל פרק גזל דסביר להרמב"ם בטור סמג שכוסף בלושן זה דוסף מדרייסה אין שם בקושי מכאן אבל שכוסף הרב בהגו באבן עזר right ריש סימן קופחס is kitcho begezel if somebody was mekadesh a woman with gezel oy begnevas akum ha mekudeshes. Right? The whole eino tzricho lehachzir rak mishum kiddush Hashem al kadishoina.
Right. So what do you mean? It's not his to give.
Which is mashma that you're not that it's not Issa Doraisa. It's not.
By the way, it's an even bigger question on the Ramah than just face value, because it's not just the question on Gazel. Habiganeva, we know it's the Iraisa. Besides, according to one, what's it called?
In other words, what you're saying is like this: on the mechaber, for sure that halacha there would be shver. How could we make it mekudesh? It's the Issa Doraisa. Right. But afilu leRamah who holds it's the Rabbanan is also shver.
Well, first of all, the question is: does he hold it to the Rabbanan?
The Ramah? You're asking that if there are more holes, you mean we're talking about a yid over here. So I don't think there's a machloikas in that.
No, he's talking about Gezel or Genevas Akum. So the only way that would work is if the Ramah held that both that even Geneva is only midrabanan.
Kisha begezel. Begezel, what's the begezel?
Who answers this?
Hold on a second. What did we say by gezel? That everybody agrees is deraisa or what?
No, there's a machlekes. Because some hold the Rambam holds it's midiraisa.
Right.
But some hold that just like Lisashik is l'reyacha, there's a smichas dvarim. So also gezel from Akum.
Yeah. So gezel is also the Okay, so now let me ask you
according to the Mechaber, it would seem he holds like the Rambam that Gezel Me'akum is midiraisa.
But hold on a second. Yeah, if you have Gezel over here, right, which is derabanan. Let's say that Ramah holds as derabanan, right?
Fine.
Let's say like that.
Yeah.
Because after all the Ramah said over here that Tos Akum is mutter.
Right. But meaning he doesn't argue on the mechaber. It's mashma he's agreeing. That's the shverkeit.
Yeah.
But I say it's not a shverkeit. I don't think it's a shverkeit. Why? Because
I don't even
because or you could say the Shredkai goes even further because he also says Genevas Akum. He says Gezel ay Geneva. So he must have a whole different reasoning. His reasoning is not because it's midrabanan, because he for sure doesn't hold that Genevas Akum is midrabanan.
Even if he holds that Gezela is derabanan, I don't think the Chachamim would allow you to be mekadesh begezela.
No, but
because kol mekadesh,
it's not that they're allowing you to.
No, I mean to say that they could let it through.
She's mekudesh. Why? Because even though you did the wrong thing, but you're mekudesh.
Let me ask you a question. If you hold that Gezel Doraisa, you would agree with me that mekudesh, right?
I mean, I'm mekudesh. It's not your.
Why?
Why? Because it's definite. It's not your item. You have to be mekudesh with your own thing.
In other words, not because of mitzvah baba veda.
No, I think just because it's not yours, it's stolen. It's not your property.
Well, if it's midrabanan, also midoraisa, it's yours. Midrabanan, it's not yours.
Right. So midoraisa, it's yours. So even though you did a very nasty thing, and they'll make you give it and whatever, but you'll have to pay the guy or something or whatever it is. The best they'll make you do. But the bottom line is, midoraisa was yours. And
I don't think you'd be even mekudesh midoraisa, because
if it was midoraisa, it would not be
Moshe of Yisrael. So the Chachamim have the power to make kedushin non-valid.
That was always trying to. Even if you hold this derabanan, that this is derabanan, kol mekadesh.
Okay, fine. So how about mitzvah by the aveda? That doesn't apply to the derabanan. Only to
that's also derabanan. Mitzvah by aveda is also derabanan.
Okay, so then what's his hava mean in Bichlal then?
Now you're entering something else, something a very lamtish zach. If you say mitzvah ba'aveda by isu derabanan, it's a derabanan ad derabanan, right?
That's why I think it has to do with
the kedushin is only a hechsher mitzvah. The mitzvah is peru revu.
No, the Rambam writes.
But the fact is, there's a kedushin.
No, the Rambam writes mitzvah lekadesh seisha. It's brought down as one of the mitzvahs in the Rambam. But the thing is this: the real question over here is, if it's the Rabbanon, if the Rabbanon is also to be kadesh begezela, if you say mitzvah baba aveda on the Rabbanon, do you say this is a famous question that's brought down? Do you say that in other words,
if it's an aveda d'rabbanan, is that called a mitzvah?
Yeah. Do you say that you don't say trei d'rabbanan in an anon aved gzeira, an aved gzeira legzeira? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Right. That's one way of looking at it.
The other way of looking at it is different. Is the question is if it's mutter to take the item, it's his item, right? Fine. Let's say it's also midrabanan.
Yeah.
But in other words, there's having mikudeshes. Meaning you got a problem. Why? Because we did.
Yeah, but the chachamim could be.
And now, no. So fine. Al pi chachamim, you'll have to redo the kiddushin again to make sure. Let's say, but
you got a problem.
You have a kiddushin here.
No, it's more than that. The chachamim are empowered to be oiker a what do you call it? A kiddushin which minatoira might be valid and make it ois kiddushin. They have the power to do that.
But do they in this case?
Well,
I don't know. Remember, there has to be a known gzeira for that.
That's really my question. My question is, why were they not oiker over here this kedushin? That's a question.
Anyway, the Shach did not understand this Ramah. He's flabbergasted. So we can take a little bit comfort in the fact that Ramah that the Shach was also completely flabbergasted by this.
Yeah. No, this is a very, very strong question. By the way, we should get some klorkeit from the rabbi on this, because this is poshet pshat, on the Shach, and we're gonna get. I'll be very surprised if we don't get slapped with this question. And besides the fact it's important to know this, I think it's an important thing.
Look at the Berheitev. The Berheitev explains a little bit better. Meaning it's not. He doesn't give an answer. I don't think, but he explains the question a little better.
Which says
the same one you were looking at before. Right? Okay, now here's and now look how he poses the question, slightly different than the Shach. The Choshen Mikan al Mashikosav Haramah, Bevan Ezer Simin Chavches, Kidsha Begazel I Begnei Vasayv Gichavim, Havi Mikudeshes. Why is she Mikudeshes? The Ha Ein Tzricha Lahachzir. Right, the question is, you can't be Mekadesh something with her with something she can't keep. That's the problem. The problem is she has to be machzir it. But the Ramah says she only has to return it because of the problem of Chil Hashem, meaning it's muter.
Oh! Tremendous chiddush.
But it's amazing how just by he didn't answer it. He answered the question. He asked the question a little bit differently. He explained.
Can I just say something from the Ramah here? It does not seem that the what the Berheitev says. Let me tell you why. All the Ramah is saying in the case of matter, right, or in the case of in the second case, lehatoisoi, right. According to the first opinion, or in the case of Torah, you should give it back in the case because of Chilul Hashem. Nowhere do you see in the Ramah, that the Ramah is matir gezelas akum, and only
right, and it's only because
of Chilul Hashem.
So that's the shaila on him. That's the shaila. We're like, how is this fitting in with the Ramah over there?
Is that so? That you're telling me that the thing is that the Berheitev is explained the shaila?
Yeah, I think the Shach actually also brought those words, but we missed it. That the ha ein tzrich lahachzir rak mishum kiddush Hashem,
which it is clearly not so from the words of the of the Ramah.
Meaning from anything here we can understand. What the Ramah holds is it would be chayv lahachzir,
but not because of Chil Hashem, because of
Chil Hashem, is because it's gezel.
Exactly, gezel darban,
right.
and that's the kasha on the Ramah.
That's the kasha on the Ramah, yeah.
Can I tell you something? Imagine the two opinions over here in the Ramah, right? Imagine.
Yeah.
By the Ramah holding that only because of Chilul Hashem, you're going 2 steps away from here, or 1 step away from here. And there are 3 isurim. The one is stealing. One of them is swindling the guy out, and the third thing, if the guy makes a mistake on his own. There are 3 levels by a goy. We see 3 cases, right? So all we see. I mean, the Ramah himself doesn't seem to hold that it's at all mutter to do to steal from a goy.
Right.
Not unrelated.
Chilul Hashem is a problem.
Yeah, in other words, and let's say that in a case that you know for sure there's no Chilul Hashem, does that mean that the Ramah would allow you?
Right, to be right, right. You can do gazel push it.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get caught. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who says?
And that's bichlal, not mashma from here.
Bichlal nicht. In other words, the Ramah holds be'emes.
In fact, he seems to hold by the second Yesh Emrim that not only gazel, but even also lahataisai. Now, if it doesn't discuss it here, at some point we might have to jump into Evan Ezer and see if anybody says anything about it there. Because it could be that they decide to jump on this question in Evan Ezer over there and to talk about it more. Anyway, fine. Weiter in the Smeh.
Okay.
Now we're going on the Ramah.
Okay.
On the Ramah.
Let's go. So it says the Smeh on the Ramah is Vov, right?
Yeah.
ויש שם דאוסו להטויסוי, ולומדו זה מדאוסרו אפילו גנבה דס אקום. But imagine, listen to this. Imagine that this real theft is even worse than Gneva Das.
Right. It's Gazel is for sure worse than Gneva Das.
Okay, so we see that medaf ton in them. Okay, weiter. Then back to Shach, V'yeshemrim, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeshem also atoisei ein yam shlomo.
Yeah.
Perek Yud Devar Kama, the pasuk Shom K'yeshemrim, that you're not allowed to be mata b'yadayim.
Also latesa, yeah.
Yeah, because of Shom, the B'komokim Yomeli Yisrael Reish Al Cheshbonecho Ani Seimach. V'gam have that, you know what that's
right. Meaning even when mata is atzmei, he's going a step further. The Yam Shel Shlema. Even when he was mata atzmei,
yeah.
Even then, mikol makom yemer lo yisal re'esh al cheshbein chani seimech. Why?
Yeah.
Why? So there shouldn't be a Chil Hashem, because we still have a problem of Chil Hashem.
Exactly. This is an extra security to secure yourself and be no Chil Hashem. וגם of course halvo אינו מותר, אלו, right?
Yeah.
אלו כשחייב לשלם לוי דרך מכס או דרך חויב, אבל משהו דרך מקח אסור.
Right, but all of this he's saying, this is when it's a chayiv or this kind of thing. But in Mekach or Memkar, even Mates Atzmei is also. So he takes it a whole further.
I think this is the whole thing that we read in the notes. We wrote Perichas on this, and I think what was blight with them? What is it that we're left with then? That's a real question. That in the case of this is all derech what? This is all derech shechayv l'sham derech meches derech chayv. Mashu derech mech osur. Aye. Begam havkos alvo. He's saying that which the Ramah is matir im to, right? Im to me'atzmoi is only derech meches or derech chayv, aval mashu derech mekachum osur. So I understand what he's saying. Do you realize that in business, if he makes a mistake, you have to tell him?
Yeah, according to the Yam Shel Shlema, if you make a mistake if he makes a mistake in business.
Yeah.
It's the same as the Hataisi in Mekach Memka.
Because Hashem,
and even if it's not in business.
Yeah.
Which is a funny thing, because then what's the case that he's talking about?
No, he's saying like this. First of all, it has to be in what do you call it? In meches or derech chayv. Then you have to tell him the soymech al cheshbonecho. Right?
No, I see what he's saying. Two things. One thing he's talking about is like this. One thing he's talking about is if he's mata es atzmei, even in Mekach Memkar, is fine.
Not allowed to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is fine. So long as you tell him, I'm relying on your cheshbon. However, hafka'ah is not allowed. Hafka'ah is not allowed in Mekach Memkar at all. Meaning, I'm going to take the thing, and then he's going to forget. I'm not going to, or whatever. I'm going to not pay him for the. I buy an item from him. I'm not going to pay him. This is hafka is not allowed to make a memker.
I don't know. I really don't know exactly what you're saying, because hafka is according to the first opinion.
No, but he's talking about hafka salva.
Look in there more inside.
No, that's both. There is also hafka salva. He's just.
Tos akum kegoin lehatoise becheshbon lehafkia halvos muter. Or you mean there's hafka salva through mate? That's one. And the second, Yeshem de also lehatoisoi elotomeat. There's hafka salva through mate es atmoi. That's what he wants to say. Look, listen to this. Remember that the Shach is teaching you, according to the second opinion, that you're not allowed to actively be mad to him.
Right.
So he's saying like this. It's matter Ashtons, we're going like a pasuk Yeshayim. Because of Shom, then we come Makom, Yom Yisrael Rosh Cheshbon Ani Soymach. First of all,
fine, but if you're not allowed to do it in Mekachum Memker, that whole scenario of Al Cheshbon Chani Soymach only applies to Mekachum Memker.
No, why?
Yeah. I'm relying on your weights and measures. I'm relying on how much you're giving me.
Al Cheshbonech Ani Soymach, because of B'komokom Yomer Lo Yisrael de Al Cheshbonech Ani Soymach. That's okay. That's a blank statement.
Right. Well, he's talking about what you can't do by Mekachum Memker is hafka'a. Meaning, I'll give you the two scenarios. The guy gives me a loan, right? Then he dies.
Yeah.
Or he forgets about it. I don't have to pay. However, if it's Mekachum Memker, I went to your store and I bought something, and he dies, I still have to pay the Yerishim. You forget about it, I still have to pay you. That's by right. If I'm planning not to pay him, not by Mata. Mata, I have to say, I'm relying on your cheshbon.
Now, in other words, Mata is shaykh by everything.
Mata is I'm relying on your is
Mata. Mata satzmo is chayav.
Mata satzmo generally applies to Mekachum Memker.
Why? He could be make a mistake in what he owes you.
Alone is true. He could be. He tells you. Oh, you owe me 20, and you know you owe him 30.
Or the unlikelihood
fine. Okay, agreed.
Or,
fine.
Or the unlikelihood that the IRS will make a mistake on assessing your taxes, right? Yeah. Which is what. Yeah, but
the only thing is, I don't advise you to tell the IRS that, hey, I'll look, I'm after you.
Right. No, but all that is. I think it applies. Al cheshbonech ani soymech.
You can say that applies to everything.
To everything, right? That's what I want to say.
Yeah, Mekanzogin.
Hafkah is only on.
Hafkah to just hafkah is to just not pay it. It's not mata isay. It's I just don't pay it. He doesn't remember, or he died, and it's Yoshim. I don't tell them nothing. They don't know. I don't tell them.
Right.
That's only on a. But if it's Mekachum Memker, I went and bought a bunch of produce, and then I find out the guy died, and his son doesn't know that I bought a bunch of produce yesterday. No. On this hafkah is not.
Right. But that was an important shach. That
I think no, and I think it's important to understand it, right? Because it's
sure. The hafkah is a category on its own.
Yeah.
I think when we learned the notes, I think we said hafkah is like mamish gezel biyadayim or something like that. Use the lotion over there. That's mamish to go, because you took. I'll tell you why. Because you took the things biyadayim. You went and you took the merchandise biyadayim. Now you're denying everything. That's gezel biyadayim. That's the lotion that he uses over there. Do you remember that or not? That is since different by a loan and different by thing. that
by
you didn't.
Memka. Yeah. Right. There's because alone and Memka are two very different scenarios.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to look it up afterwards, and I'll point it out to you. I'll send you a thing. I think it's because the nature of taking a kli, which is Beka Memka merchandise, and denying that you ever denying that you ever took it, or denying that's down outright. I think this may be bordering on Issa Doraisa. I think so. I'll tell you why. When we saw it at the time, he said something over there. He brings from the Forshim, says that even though the Ramah usually doesn't hold Issa Doraisa by stealing, but to go to his thing and actually take it out of his reshus.
Yeah, that's already.
That's bordering Issa Doraisa, and all the other things that he says that Rabbanan might not be such a. It's not so tangible. Not.
Right. Not
I remember when you read it, I didn't want to say to him. I said, "This is kind of strange," but I think that's what it is.
I'll tell you, this is really one of the things that I love about Choshen Mishpat is how how steady it goes. Everything is so consistent.
Yeah.
Let's see the. Here. Okay, so let's look now at the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch.
Okay, let me go to.
Share it over here if anybody doesn't have the.
I have the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch
handy.
Where are we looking at?
In Dina Gnevo Gzela, Sif Aleph. It's a very short thing. You can see it on the screen. You can just read it on the screen. It's a very basic. It's very small. Just the first part.
Where?
So you see it on the screen what I have?
I have it here. What Simon and what?
It's a Gnevo Gzela Aleph.
Gzelo Geneva Aleph. Also Ligzoid or Lignoi Kol Shehu. Din Torah Ben Me Yisrael Ben
Menochri. So we see that Alter Rebbe holds very clearly that Gezel from Akum is Mida Iraisa. Right?
He says the Shach holds like that.
And I guess in the Kuntres Achin, in Sifkat Chav Gimel, the Alter Rebbe says that when it comes to robbery and theft, there is no difference between a Jew or a non-Jew. It's the same.
It says, look in Dalet in the footnotes, Rambam, Shom Veshom, Tur, Shulchan Aruch, Simon Shin Memches, Sibbeis, Geneva, right?
Right, which we just.
Shach, Shom, Sivkotten Beis,
Me'atorah. The Shach point just points out that the Mechaber holds like the Rambam that's Midraisa.
According to this, it seems to be that he himself was like that. Tur v'shuchanoch simen shin tes shom gizelo v'urei gam le'il echus metzias in order. Lekaman beloi al das shalom soif tzift chofgev deloi nema re'echo begizelo. Okay, so Ben Kot Nafilu es Anochri Tzir es Yisrael Tzir Sheloi Shaykh Beit Ashlumin Afapi Shepochs B'Shove Pruto Ein Nikra Momoin Vein Tzorich HaShivoi Hare Chatzi Shur Osu Min HaToira Lechatchila Imud Ormuot Kol Kach Sheboi Vakabila Olav Kegoin Litol Kisem Chavila Oy Magada Chotashuna Mutter Umidas Chasidus Limnoye Gam Mizeh. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, let me just see what he has over here.
Did we do inside Im Dover Muat?
Second. This Achrin for Tafim Mem. What is he saying you have here? Oh, so there's another interesting thing right here.
Oh, by the way, wow. What we learned the Ramah, there's a piece over here that Yumi were talking about it in the notes.
Yeah.
Because Hatoya over here in the case in the case of the Ramah, the first case of the Ramah, you're not actually taking money out now. You're telling him that, well, before it's a gunish. I don't owe you anything. But there's another case. It says, Mikre shel ideh hatoya moitzi momen mamish min anochri. So you're mamish, you're extracting money, like, I wrote a check of $1,000. I didn't receive the 4 boxes, okay? The 4 crates. I only got 3 crates, right? So then, oishe moichel lenochi umate oisoi לשלם יויסר ממה שמחויב, יש שכוסו שאפילו השיט הראשון ברמו מוידה שזהו גזל גמור ואוסר. שהרי אינו משתמט מהתשלום אלא מוציא מיד מומן. You're not trying to drain out of not paying. Here you are actively taking money. That's worse than the first case. That's one sheet. And who says that? The Marshal says that in Yam Shloima. ויש שכוסו שאפילו במקרה הזה לשיט הששון המותר, כיוון שכל זמן שהגוי מעט ממועצת המומן, אוקיי, the other white motor, אין בכלל זה גזל זה. לאחר יריך כאילו רב אחרי אשכן להך מקשית השנייה, שהביא הרמו, שעושו להט is not anyway. Okay, so anyway, who's כך מאשכנז over here?
Yes, I think it's interesting to look in the Kuntres Acher.
Yeah, but Shulchan Aruch Harav. That's the Alter Rebbe that says it's also.
Look in the Kuntres Acher here.
Yeah. Where?
It's on Siman Tov Mem.
Tov Mem? Huh?
It's on sorry, Tov Mem. It's on Siman Tov Mem, and it's Sifkotin Yud Aleph in the Kuntres Acher.
You're talking about Orach Chaim now? I should look.
Yeah, it's in Orach Chaim. It's on.
Okay, let me. I don't have the Orach Chaim.
It's in the Kuntres Acher in.
I have it. I have to get it. One sec. Mendel, is this it's brought down? It's brought down in the notes. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's in the notes.
Which note is it?
It is note 10. See, Orach Chaim, Siman Tov Mem, it's in Hilchos Pesach. Kuntres Acher, Sifkotin Yud Aleph.
Give me a sec, please.
So, and I have it also, if anyone wants to have it shared on the screen as well.
Top 10. Second. Orach Chaim. What is that speaking about? Let me see. Top Mem.
Yeah.
Okay, which Sif you said?
It's Tov Mem, Sifkotin Yud Aleph.
Okay, where I have it already. Yud Aleph, yeah.
Yes, Eishim Kirenu. Kein Mavur Betaz Sifkotin Aleph. The Yochel Mechrei Ulevare Av She'eni Shalei. Fine, it's actually not so relevant what that's talking about, but here's the main thing. V'hatam, what's the reason? Mishum de Gzelas Hanochri Ein Bo Isur Elo Im Kein Niskavin Legeizle Mamish Al Menas Shaloila Hachzir is Mea Gzela. That it's only if he intends to rob him and not to compensate him for it. Avol imurei to l'shalom le'damav, but if he's going to pay him his money, ain't ever mishum le'sigzil, ela mishum le'sachmid. Then it would only be le'sachmid, right? Damnin perik b'kamad the b'mitzia, like it's in the first perik b'mitzia, the hafesiv on beis v'ayin sham b'teis from the farshim, the kivan the gabi le'sachmid ksivrei yacha ain't isu b'shal nachri. Mashkos v'akas mishneh reish v'gal milchzelo inyan eishik. Right, it came to his hands legally. And he said, so this is like Hafkaz Halva, that's Shari. Thank of Ramah, Ibn Ezra, Sif Chavches, Sif Aleph, Baga, Lafimash, which is interesting because I believe that's the same Sif where we had the problem in the Shafram.
I was going to say, I think this answers the question.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, look, V'ayin Sham Bechelkes Mechekik, Sivkoten Gimel, Sivkoten Chafalif, Mevor Sham Behedya, the Hamecher Mashkin Shal Nachri Shebiyadei, Hari Zemechira Gemura V'kon Halekeach, Shahareho Isha Miskadeshes Boy. So he explains the Ramah, why it's there. The culture came in the dan shisham leidamov. Then kan beis michush. How much more so here? So basically, he's explaining why the Rama holds that there.
Do you know?
The Rama holds there not that there's no gezel, not that the gezel is mutir, but he's explaining that Rama's talking about a case that it was a pikodim and it came to his hands legally.
So then we don't have a kasha anymore.
Now, if you're still doing a bad thing, but it is a mechira gemura v'kona halikeach, and that's why she's and now why? So why does she have to give it back? Because if he doesn't give it back, it's going to cause chil Hashem.
Listen to this. This is quite different. Understanding the case of the Eben Ezer of Kiddushin, the way the Alter Rebbe has explained it now, which entails a loan and a what do you call it, and a mashkoin and stuff like that, is quite different to the way we learned it, that seemingly he stole it. He just stole the money from the guy and he was Bekadesh Isha. That's the way we learned it, right or not? Or that's the way. That's the way
it looked like. Is that he just told it?
I don't think I was alone in this.
Clarifies. No. He's talking about right that the Chalkes Mechayik explains that it's talking about he was making his mashke, not he was mamish.
I think this is a gewaltige.
Right, and now the whole thing makes more sense. The Ramah Taka holds that Gezel is awesome. Not only that, he could even hold like the Alter Rebbe holds that Gezel is, and like the Mechaber holds, he could hold it's also midei Raisa.
Yeah, but this is not a case.
What is he talking about? But that's in a case where he was a Goslin. Here it's talking about Meicher Mashkin Shalnach he should be Yodei. That in that case, even though again you're not doing the right thing, but
no.
Therefore,
why is he selling it? Because he's not.
So why did he have to return it? Because he got a problem with Chil Hashem.
Can I ask you a question? Why is he selling it? Because he doesn't have money? Because he's not paying him back?
Or because he's
because
or because he's not a nice person.
Goyach,
It could be also whatever it is, but
so seriously, because why is he obviously he needs the money, otherwise what do you have to do that for?
Whatever, I don't know. It was a nice ring, The guy that gave him a nice ring that's for a mashkin. He's like, hey,
you're telling me now that
maybe the mashkin was a ring. I don't know.
The mashkin was a ring, not that he sold the ring.
Maybe or yeah, no. It's not that he sold it. It's in this case, he doesn't sell it. It's similar to selling it.
Yeah.
As opposed to selling it, he gave it to her as Kiddushin. He didn't sell the mashkin. He gave her this mashkin as Kiddushin. So just like selling it, the sale would be taifis. So therefore, the Kiddushin is also taifis.
Can I ask a question? When we learned this is which Kutas of Akhud we learned right now? You'd base, though?
Yud Aleph.
Yud Aleph, sorry. Yud Aleph. Sikuten Yud Aleph. So really, it's a Chalkas Mechoikek that explains it, that he's bringing him down.
Yeah.
Baruch Hashem. Very good.
Fine.
You tell me what we do now.